are back with another video. Now, if you're in my Facebook group, you already know what this video is about. I told y'all that I was going to be starting a new series that is all about, I guess you could say, going viral, but also creating a signature product. And my brand is about to go viral again for the fourth time, and I want to first take y'all on this journey with me and show y'all what it looks like behind the scenes to prepare for this moment, and then once I'm actually in it, how I'm going to be moving through that, and also just give y'all pointers, tips, and different advice on what you could do for your own brand to prepare for when you have your own viral moments. So with that being said, let's get into it. So for those of y'all who don't know me, I am Jada Ellis, the owner of couture fashion brand Jada. You could go ahead and follow me. That's my Instagram right there. But I'm creating this because, like I said, my brand is about to go viral again. So if you're wondering for what, I have created these jeans. They're called the Jada jeans. I dropped them at the end of 2023, so they've actually been out for about a year and a half now. And in this past year and a half, I have seen a tremendous amount of success and opportunity come from these one pair of pants. And the crazy thing is, jeans is not even my specialty, y'all. Like, it's not even my specialty, but because I was able to create a product that still represented my brand aesthetic, I was able to create a signature product that was able to go viral. And so I want to walk y'all through just what are the 10 things that you need for whenever your brand goes viral. So first things first, y'all, excuse me for rubbing my eye. I have oily skin, and it's oiling up right now. But first things first is you want to make sure that you have either a production team or more seamstress ready to go. So currently I have 2 seamstresses that I work with. Well, I have my main seamstress, and then she has a lady who helps her sew my orders. So I currently have a seamstress, but I know that from working with her, I am only able to take so many orders. And so whenever things start to take off for my brand, it typically gets to a point to where there's only so much that I can take on. So it's good for you to already start thinking about who are other seamstresses that I could bring on, or if you want to go the manufacturing route, what's the manufacturing company that I could work with that'll have a fast turnaround, or if you have the money to just go ahead and place a big order ahead of time, I recommend doing that too. Next is, this would be our point number 2. You want to have a high functioning website, a website that is actually able to handle a high amount of traffic and set you up for success. So y'all, I'll show y'all the screenshots in a second, but literally my website was getting traffic to the point where I was having more than 1,000 people, or at least 1,000 people minimum, visit my website every day for about 2 weeks. Within a span of those 2 weeks, I at least had like 20-something thousand followers. Not followers, 20-something thousand website visits. And y'all, I didn't even have things like my email list properly set up on my website to where people couldn't even see it really. They would have to scroll all the way to the bottom of my page. But because of that, it wasn't until the last 3 days of that traffic, that's when I added a more visible email list sign up. And I got 2,500 people to join my email list in 3 days. Now imagine if I would have had that set up at the beginning. Like literally imagine if it would have been set up at the beginning. So things like that are extremely important. Is your website set up to really help you succeed and to be able to handle that amount of traffic and help you to make more money? Like, that's the most important part. And then that actually kind of goes into my next point, which is, or it's actually my 2 next points for 3 and 4. So first off, emails. When it comes to your email list, make sure you know, or somebody else that you have working for you knows how to create high converting emails. My thing was, I did not know how to convert. Like, I have been able to, but that's not my specialty. Emails are not my specialty. My thing is, I could bring the people in. I could grab people's attention, but I do not know always how to convert when it comes to the sales part. And so I would have things that I would send out, or even work with other people, which did help a little more. But I would try to do things for my email list to get things to convert better. But at the end of the day, that wasn't my specialty. So now with the help of AI, I actually am getting some better results from my emails. but that's something that you really want to keep in mind. Also, side note, if you don't want to do emails, texts are also really great too, just because people check their texts more than they do their emails. But specifically for my brand, I use emails only right now. Next thing that goes into that point as well is retarget ads. Now, I mentioned earlier, 20-something thousand people visited my website in a small time frame. And that wasn't the first time that happened. I want to say in the span of the past year and a half, I've had close to 90,000 people visit my website. And so if I had things set up to where I could use retarget ads, I would basically be able to retarget those people over and over and over again. Meaning, retarget ads are essentially when they're scrolling on Facebook, even though they've left your website, when they're scrolling on Facebook, scrolling on Instagram, when they're scrolling wherever, when they see an ad, your brand, your website is going to pop back up because they have visited your website at one point. And so in order for me to be able to do that, I have to have a Facebook ads account. And unfortunately, mine got banned in 2019, so I wasn't able to take advantage of that. But now, since I know this is about to happen, I'm trying to see if I can get this worked out. That way, when the traction starts coming and the people start coming, I could get another 100,000 people to come to my website, but this time I'll be able to retarget those people. Like, there's this saying that says people have to see your brand 7 to 12 times before they actually buy. So if I can keep putting my content, keep retargeting those people another 7 to 12 times, think about how many of those people will actually become customers instead of just one-time website visitors. After that, this one is really simple. Have Afterpay on your website. I currently don't have it set up because we were taking 2.5 weeks to produce orders. I believe you have to hit that 2 week, that 2 week mark, essentially. If you want to be able to have Afterpay on your website, you have to have things shipped out in 2 weeks. And so that was my issue for my brand. But I'm working on speeding up production. That way we can have Afterpay set on my website, because even though I use ShopPay, Afterpay is just way more familiar with people, so that'll probably help get more conversions than having ShopPay, which is something a lot of people aren't super familiar with. Our next point, let's see, where are we at? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, number 6. Our next point is know what team you need for when you expand. So this kind of goes along with the seamstress thing, but it goes beyond that. So I know my strong suits are marketing. I know how to market my brand. So when my business takes off, I have to pull back from everything else. And that was one of my issues. When my brand will take off, I'm doing a million different things. I'm putting my hand in all these different things when I don't need to do that. And so I know some things that I want to do is I do want to have a person take over my social media. Like, I help create the content and the marketing campaigns, but I want someone actually doing the editing for me. That's a better way to say it. I want someone to take over my emails. I want more people to do the sewing, different things like that. But also, when you have a signature product that goes really well and it takes off, the custom side of your business will also take off. So having things like an assistant, having someone who can be a pattern maker, all of these different things are super, super important for your brand. And so yeah, just knowing what people you need for whenever things get ready to shoot off. Next thing, this one is pretty self-explanatory, but I didn't do it myself. So just in case anybody else needs this information, it may be helpful. But you want to be able to share other people's experience with your product or your design. So meaning, when people are getting your design, they're getting your product, immediately trying to show content of them wearing the design, them styling the design, showing their experience opening up the package, things like that. So for me, people were buying my stuff, but I was really struggling getting content of other people, especially because I like really high quality content, which I know shouldn't be that much of a factor, but I think that sometimes I just didn't always want to repost things on my page as well. I would repost in my story, but people had questions. They wanted to see, How does this look on this size? How does this look on this size? Is this for short people? Is this only for tall people? And so being able to show other real people in your stuff is something that is super, super important that you should hop on immediately. Okay, next, our last 3 points, y'all. So the next thing that's super important is you want to be able to pivot fast. So one of my mentors, they always say success loves speed, meaning you have to be able to make decisions fast. You have to be able to take action fast. And so that is where success comes. And one thing that I used to mess up on is when things start to take off, your audience is immediately going to tell you what they want. They're going to say, oh, can I see it this way? Can I see it this way? Can you make this improvement? And not to say to immediately change all that you do based on what people say on Instagram, but honestly, some of the advice and some of the things that people are going to tell you is actually going to be really useful. And so, for example, when people told me, hey, how am I going to pee in this? And this wasn't customers. I never had a customer say that, but people on Instagram, they would say, hey, how am I going to pee in this? And I would just think, you're just going to unlace it. It's a corset at the back. I would say, you're just going to unlace it and pull it down. But it took me about I want to say 7-8 months until I finally made, maybe even longer, till I finally made a pair that had a zipper at the back. And I still kept the original look of the design. I just added an invisible zipper and that changed everything. And so things like that you want to think of for your client, for your customer. You want to try and make things as easy for them as possible, and give the audience what they want, especially if it seems like your actual target audience is the one that is saying these things. Number 9. This one is also pretty self-explanatory, but you want to use Minichat. If you don't use it now, then you should be. But a lot of people are not going to click the link in your bio when you say that in your captions. So make sure you are using Minichat, but use it to the best of your ability. So they have new updates with Minichat to where you can have it send follow-up messages. Those are super important. You want to make sure you have follow-up messages. You want to make sure that you are using these things that can be automated to make communications and marketing so much easier. And so Minichat is definitely a tool that you should be taking full advantage of when you go viral. And it honestly can help you go viral as well. And the last thing, which is the most important thing in my opinion, is you want to have weeks worth of content ready. So whenever you go viral, you are not supposed to slow down on content or even keep doing things at the same pace. You want to push out even more. And so now, because I have went viral enough times, I already know what type of content needs to be created whenever you go viral. And so now what I'm about to do in the next 2 weeks is create that content ahead of time. I already know what people want to see when something goes viral. So I literally just have to plan a couple of content days, shoot this content, and start editing it now. That way, once this takes off, I already have stuff to post every single day. And then as more money comes in, as more orders comes in, I keep on making more of that content. Like, that is a huge thing. And so, because as soon as you die down on posting content, so is the momentum. People care, right? Like, when your stuff goes viral, that means you have people's attention. People are caring about what you do. And one of the things that you never want to take for granted is people caring about your brand, because it's actually not super easy to get people to care about your brand that much. So if people care about it enough to share it, repost it, tell their friends to go buy it, all these different things, you want to make sure that you do what you need to do on your end to make sure that you can keep their attention. So yeah, those are my 10 steps or 10 things that you should do for when your brand goes viral. These are things that you want to have set up in your brand, in your business beforehand. So if you heard anything in this video that you aren't currently doing, go ahead and make sure you do those things now. So before I go, I want to talk to y'all about my friend Alyssa. She is honestly one of the most brilliant people that I know. When I met her, I was immediately captivated by how she talked, everything that she knew, and all the success that she acquired at a really young age. Just to let you know a little bit more about her, she is the go-to for 6, 7, and 8-figure entrepreneurs. When it comes to growing and scaling a business, knowing how to market a business, knowing what needs to happen on the back end, setting up websites for these businesses, businesses. She has been the go-to consistently for years. And so she reached out to me. She said, with your knowledge of creating a signature product and her knowledge of growing and scaling businesses, we could really help some designers create actual success for themselves. And so I want to talk to y'all a little bit about what we have in the works. So I want to take a moment to talk to the designers who's been making the custom looks. You've been doing the one-of-ones, you've been doing the custom outfits and the special pieces for your clients for years, but deep down, you know that there's more that you want for yourself and for your brand. And I know that y'all are out there because I remember feeling like, okay, my brand is bigger than just prom. And it's nothing wrong with doing prom, but I knew that I want to be as big as the Gucci's, the Versace's. My next step is being like the Sergio Hudsons, you know? And so if you've ever related to that, then this 100% it is for you. And so if you want a real brand, you're dreaming about getting into the ready-to-wear space, and you want to be viewed in the fashion industry like a Hanifa, like a Telfar, and you're not interested in just sewing alterations forever or sewing behind the machines forever, doing wedding dresses and custom gowns by yourself or with a small team forever. If you want to truly build something that lasts, then I really want to be able to help you with the program that we are creating. So we created this idea where we wanted to come together and help designers create a signature product, but also be able to help them grow and scale it and launch it all in the span of 90 days. So this is for the designer who doesn't only want to do custom gowns for the rest of their lives, but it's for the designer who wants to actually launch a signature product similar to what I did for my business and have something that actually defines your brand. It's for the person who wants to start taking ready-to-wear orders with a luxury level website that can actually help them get sales and keep the money coming in. It's also for the person who wants to build content that gets noticed by the press, by influencers, and also set up systems that allows their business to scale and not burn them out. And then lastly, this is for the person who wants to make their mark in the industry, but not just as a good designer, but as a visionary. Like, you want to be respected in the industry. You want to be seen in the industry as a real designer and not just, oh, this is a person who makes customs. So here's an idea of what you're gonna get if you work with us. So like I said, my business partner, she has helped scale multiple 6- and 7-figure businesses, and I've been able to create a product that has went viral multiple times and has brought in so much success for my business. But we will be working side by side with you for the next 3 months. Every week, you're going to get a coaching strategy and personalized support to bring your vision to life. And we're going to help you to create a signature product, but not just that, you're also going to know how to position it, launch it, and actually get it to the place to where it's able to sell and sell consistently. We're also going to be able to help build your website, set up your emails, and walk you through content creation so your brand looks and feels premium from day one. And I'm also going to help you personally set up your product to get you in front of more stylists and influencers, so that way your brand could truly grow. This is not about just making clothes, it's about building a brand that commands attention. If you've ever looked at designers like Sergio Hudson, Laquan Smith, Hanifa, all of these different designers, they are amazing. And if you've ever thought this is the level that I'm trying to move to, then this is your next step. We're only accepting 5 people for this first go around for this project, and that's it. But if you're ready to stop surviving off of custom orders, and even like I said, even if your custom orders do well, if you still just see your brand doing much better than what it currently is doing, and you truly want to build a brand that can be a household name, then I want us to be able to work with you and help your brand get to that level. So if you're ready, go ahead and click the link in the description, and I'll go ahead and send you more details on how you can work with us. But like I said, we're only working with a few people. We're super excited to work with those of you who are interested. And for those of you who are not able to participate at this time, I can't wait to see you in the next video and part 2 of my signature series. So I hope y'all have a good day, and I'll talk to y'all later. Bye, y'all.